As someone who struggles to get out of bed in the morning, the 0 hour might genuinely be changing my life. Hello, friends. Today I want to talk about morning routines. I want to talk about how you get the heck out of bed and actually start doing a morning routine when you have fatigue, or low energy, or chronic health issues, or depression, or anxiety, or if you're easily distractible and you get sucked into doing stuff on your phone instead of getting out of bed and starting the day. I needed a solution for that. So this is how I thought through that process. Let's talk first about what a realistic morning routine looks like. For me, it's this. 4 items. My sun lamp turns on automatically in the morning, and that works as my alarm clock that tells me to get up or wake up. Washing my face, drinking water and refilling my water bottle, and doing a very short, very light exercise. I'm talking 3 to 5 minutes. Now, recently I've gotten more ambitious and there's more I want to do in the morning. I want to write, I want to study language, I want to make breakfast, I want to eat breakfast, and then use that as a jumping off point to transition into the next part of my day. But what happens when this process gets interrupted, when you wake up and then you never move on to the next step? Now, I don't know if any of you had a 0 hour when you were in school. The middle school had an extracurricular before school started instead of after. So 0 hour was a chance to go to school earlier and do something fun. For me, it was music. And even for the years when I wasn't taking a 0 hour class, I would actually still go early just to hang out with my friends. We would play card games. It was just a great way to start the day before the school day began. With that energy in mind, I asked myself what a 0 hour would look like. What would tempt me to get up and do something for fun before my workday even begins? In a journaling spread in my Sterling Ink Common Planner, I asked, what would that 0 hour look like? I might pick up a crochet project, which is something I could still easily do sitting in bed. If I wanted to stay in bed and linger for that feeling of indulgence, I want to give myself permission to do that because I think that's also part of the joy of 0 hour. I could play a game. I find that if I'm up late playing a game the night before, it can be hard to get myself to bed on time. But if I tell myself I can pick it up first thing in the morning and I don't have to wait until the next evening, if I give myself a free hour to play video games, I feel like that's also a really good way to start my day. 0 hour can also be an opportunity to update my planners and journals. It can be really cathartic to just pull out my stickers. And just start my day off with some really good, relaxed energy. I can also read or reread fiction. The only risk with this is that if I read something brand new, there's a very good chance that it will distract me from my work for the rest of the day until I finish it, so it might be safer to stick to rereads only. We shall see. Reading and studying nonfiction is also a great option, especially because I have a project I'm working on with this that I've been saying I'll release a video on this soon, but I really will release a video on this soon. I also want to encourage myself to get into more visual art and really doing things with my hands. Even though I'm not a particularly skilled artist, it doesn't really matter. I just want to be free to be creative the way that I was when I was a kid. This is also a great time to listen to music. And by listen to music, I really do mean like deep listening, not just having it on in the background. I can also practice an instrument. Here I said piano just because I have a keyboard with a volume control, so it's a little bit more polite to do that early in the morning because the neighbors will not be bothered when I keep the volume low. I can also dance or work on my choreography. I can work on some of my notebook projects. I also can curate some music playlists. This is just an enriching activity for me personally. I like to pull similar music together and create themes and moods and vibes. And I can also catch up on new music releases, specifically K-pop, kind of going through what's come out recently and checking out some of my favorite musicians. You can see I wrote this note for myself. I could do yoga or meditate if I want, but that might feel a little bit pressuring, so I want to keep it light and indulgent. Also note rereading for comfort over starting a new book because of risk of not putting it down again. Yeah, that's very real for me. I want to implement the idea of a 0 hour to encourage me to start the day with something I'm excited about and or reward myself for waking up early and starting the day. So I'm thinking about 0 hour as a hobby hour, a learning hour, a crafting hour. But it can also be a rest time, leisure time, time to sleep in, or indulgently relax. It's my choice. Elevating it makes me somewhat less likely to squander it on stupid shit, like doom scrolling. So what makes sense to reach for? Something indulgent or hobbyish with minimal setup. Hopefully, I can actually turn it into something that is useful and motivating and genuinely fun for me. Let me know if you've ever done something like this before or what you would choose to implement for your 0 hour. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day and that it's easy for you to get out of bed in the morning tomorrow. Have a good one, everybody.